Well, hey there, everyone. So, over here at Youngstown Steel Heritage, and another day of working on things. It was a little bit chilly this morning, so fired up the coal stove. So, nice little fire going there. Good Kentucky coal that we got for 58. Burns pretty nice. So, let's take a walk out to the shop and see what we have going on today. Alright, so first thing on the agenda for tomorrow is we're going to widen out the driver tires for the 62. So we brought these down here last weekend and cleaned them up with the wire wheel a little bit, and basically getting them ready to go. So tomorrow we just have to move each tire out about 3/8 of an inch. So what we'll do is take a little piece of steel and measure out 3/8 of an inch and weld them in 3 spots around on either side. And then when we heat the tires up individually with the ring of fire, and then move them out till they touch. And then doing that will give us the 20 7/8 back-to-back distance between the tires, which is what we need for 24-inch gauge. So that's one project on the agenda. Another one is that we're cleaning up the Morgan crane signs that we got off some of the cranes over at McDonald. We got a total of 4 of these, and 3 of them had been painted over, and using the paint stripper, we're getting them cleaned off. And here's another one sitting over here that we're working on. All right, so going into the shop. The thing I'm working on today, right now, some of the studs for the cylinder head for the high pressure side. Basically, wanted to bring the cylinder head in and get it back into position. It was out on one of the rail cars all winter, and remember we had the heads off when we were doing the alignment, so that we could measure off of the bores. Well, now that we're pretty good on the alignment, I'm going to put the heads back on, and also, I mean, if we still need to do any final lining, just by taking the mechanical packing off, there's a machine board surface in here that we can reference off of. So we actually don't have to take the cylinder heads off anymore to do the lining. So getting it ready to go, basically there were some of the studs that came out when we took the head off, so just heating the nuts up, getting them off the studs, putting the studs in, and then we'll put the head back on and then follow it up with the nuts. Now this is all going to come back apart again later on when we go to get this ready for steam. So you have to get in there, clean up the bore, do whatever work is necessary inside the cylinder, and then of course put the piston and rod in whenever that's done being refurbished. All right, and then the other thing, once we get the head on, then the tail rod support could then go back into place here. So we get those parts from outside, get them back in on the engine where they belong. It's always better to have stuff together where they, not as likely to get lost. So yeah, here's a couple more of those Morgan plates. Some of the other work that we've been doing around here, since we got that back end dug out last weekend. So this is dug down to about where it needs to be. We have to dig down a little bit further right here, because there's the flywheel pit drain line that runs out back, and we're going to move that shunter out of the way here before too long, get the track out of the way, and then put a catch basin back there and put a much larger pipe in here and get this all done before we do the concrete, because once we have all this concrete in here, it's going to be much harder to try to do that. So we're going to get that done here pretty quick. One of the other things we've been working on is underneath the engine, where all those pockets are at that had the grout in there. And you can't really see it all that well, but yeah, you can see some of the pockets. So I've been cleaning the bottom of the casting and getting up in there and chiseling off any of the remaining grout that may be in there, any dirt, and then wire wheeling the bottom surface, so that when we do pour the concrete and put that last level of grout in there, it'll adhere to the castings and all that, and won't, the adhesion will be affected if you have dirt and grime and all that in the way. So getting that done and ready to go, and just a million other little things that we need to think about before we start putting the rebar in, and getting everything ready for the concrete, which I'm hoping to do within the next couple of months, at least the low pressure side, because we're going to do this in halves. Do the concrete for the LP side and then do the other side. And then of course we'll have rebar that sticks out of the first pour that the second pour will grab onto, so basically will be, still act as one monolithic block. Some of the rebar we're going to use, I have some out back along the track, and I've been buying it up as I could find it, from Facebook Marketplace and wherever. But some of the others, like going across just in front of the flywheel pit, and then back in here will actually be railroad rail. We'll put 2 rails down in there, and then 2 more up higher. They just basically act as very large pieces of rebar. And it's not unheard of, especially in a lot of older concrete pours, they would use old pieces of rail as rebar. So we're going to do the same thing here. And looking at the price of scrap rail and the price of number 8 rebar, it's actually cheaper to use the rail. So that's what we've got going on there. So on the railroad side of things, we have just put up on the website the dates for, I think June we've started with putting the dates up for the steam locomotive experiences for this summer. So we're going to have a series of days that you can sign up. The charge is $258 a person. Yes, we're not changing our prices, even though the price of everything else has gone up. We're going to stay with the same price that we've had since we started this. $258, come out, spend 4 or 5 hours with us, and learn how to operate the 58 and run it around the railroad. So go to youngstownsteel.org and then click on operating days and sign up for one of the sessions. Also, we're adding a new thing this year, which is members days. So since we don't do the public train rides anymore, we're now doing operations for our members. So if you want to come out and see the railroad and ride the train, all that, you'll have to become a member. So you can sign up on the website and then sign up for one of the operating days, and then come out on the operating days and ride the train and participate in what we have going on those days. So doing things a little bit different now. It's more of a membership-based organization than having public days. Become a member of Youngstown Steel Heritage, come out for an operating day, or come on out for one of the steam locomotive experiences, and we'll have 58 running, and probably by the time we start doing the days, we'll have 62, probably at least the frame back on the wheels and probably the boiler back on the frame. So, all right, everyone, talk to you later.